Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope you're very well. I thought I'd make this quick video about something that's quite important to me. Last night, I had a very interesting revelation, and something I really don't talk about very often, but ever since I've been a child, I have an ability to see things happen in my dreams ahead of time and get information about things that are not commonly known. That's one of my gifts. And last night I had a very interesting vision as to what's happening in the world. And basically, in a nutshell, I witnessed certain type of what we could call forces that are controlling and shaping this world that don't really have human interest at their best. Um, and are doing whatever they can to keep humanity down. Now, don't believe me or disbelieve anything I say. Just hear me out because this is my experience, and we all may have something very valuable to share here. So, as I mentioned, I do see things ahead of time. I see them both in my dreams, but also in my daily life. Sometimes several minutes ahead, several hours, several days, and even several years. For example, what we have happening right now in the world with this coronavirus, I actually saw already 10 years ago, and I just didn't know how to communicate to people, and nobody would believe me anyways. So I kept my mouth shut and just kept on looking around the world for some possible safe haven. But anyways, the bottom line I want to make is that I have seen what's happening, and I would say that the world is being shaped by forces that are not necessarily positively aligned with humanity, and who are controlling the world situation and are doing everything they can to basically keep us down spiritually and physically and in so many different ways. Something to look into, uh, but the reason why I'm sharing this is so that we are aware, because a lot of people think it's just something to do on a political level, and of course we could say there's a connection there. But I would say that goes even higher, above politics, above. It goes into a structure that controls the entire planet and what happens on this planet. And the governments are just the tools of this system, or those beings, whatever we want to call them, that are controlling the world. Why is this important? Because I think all the information we hear and know, if you believe in, or if you have any knowledge and ability to understand how this quantum field works, we have to keep in mind that our thoughts and our feelings and what we let in affects our, not only our own body and our own psyche and our own health, but also it affects our reality, because we are simply an extension of this reality. And this is very important to keep in mind, because our minds, our thoughts, our feelings, our imagination actually sends out frequencies and energy to affect this whole reality. So when we hear something negative on the news, or when you hear something like what I just shared, I would ask you, at the very least, don't believe me, just try this. If you don't like what's happening in the world, don't just complain about it. Don't just talk about it. Don't just get stuck in the negative, perception of the world, and being upset with the government and so forth. I encourage you instead to try to think that you have the ability with your mind and your imagination and your intention to affect and shape this reality. So send out the thoughts, the images in your mind. Just think of how you would like the world to be in the safest way, again, in the safest way for everybody, because we all contribute collectively to creation of this reality by the things we accept and we don't accept, and also by what we focus on. And if we focus on being disempowered, powerless, voiceless, and just letting things unravel the way they are, then there are going to be consequences for that for all of us, not just you, not just me. It's going to be for all of us. And as we can see, the world right now is in a state of chaos. I mean, probably it's never been really in a state of non-chaos, because there's been always things happening. However, now it's really amplified. And what we really need to keep in mind is that we are all participating in co-creation of this world scenario that is going to affect you, me, and every one of us, whether we like it or not. Whether if we can sit back and be passive and say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to see how things turn out, I'll wait and see, blah blah blah. Yes, you can do that if you want, but what I'm saying is that all action has a reaction. There is a cause and a result. There's always a consequence to everything. And if we ignore what's happening right now in the world and don't take proper action, both mentally and also within ourselves and in the external reality, the world is going to turn into a place that we may not want. Cancel, God forbid, but we can already see the world economy is breaking down in many, many countries. There is going to be obvious consequences to this. It's not like there aren't any. And what I'm saying is based on what I saw in my dream state last night. I have seen the world being controlled by entities, beings, whatever, forces that are not interested in human evolution, they are actually interested in reducing the population of humanity on the planet, because they don't need us anymore. They need technology. They need things that are more efficient and more effective than humans. So I would suggest, to put our energy and our thoughts and focus on making sure that we disallow what's happening right now in the world collectively, unless you want this to go this way. Because, as I said, there is only going to be one possible outcome. If the economy is being affected all over the world, people are losing their jobs. The COVID ain't gonna go away, period, because it's a virus and all viruses stay, period, and then mutate. So we need to keep this in mind. What is it at stake here? Because unless we want to, see another Colombia, another Venezuela, or which, like Venezuela was quite an affluent country, one of the richest in oil, and look at them now. They're completely impoverished. We need to keep this in mind again, to see the world, see this whole situation resolving, see that the whole situation of COVID is resolving in the safest possible way for everyone, and that our liberties and rights are maintained, and that the economy is booming again now, not somewhere in the future, now, as if it's happening now. I'm sharing this with you because I'm talking from a very long experience in what I talk about, and do not believe or disbelieve me. Simply let it in and allow yourself to practice and see what happens, because this is very, very important for all of us. This is not just about you, not just about me anymore. And if we allow this collectively and individually to occur, we're going to have to bear with some very severe consequences. And I don't think they're going to be positive, personally, as if we stay complacent and passive and just complain and really not act accordingly to what our God-given rights are, like our own freedom. And we have certain freedoms that definitely need to be maintained and and retained. Anyways, that's all I need to say. Focus on seeing the reality in a way that where everything is resolved now, in a most positive, most safest way for all of humanity on the whole planet, because the whole planet is right now being affected. Those forces that are affecting this reality, they need us to stay in fear. They need us to stay complacent and acquiescing passively to this whole scenario without speaking up, without properly acting on this situation. Pass this on, and I would appreciate your feedback. Give me a thumb up if you like this material. I always appreciate that. Engage in a constructive conversation and respectful conversation with me on YouTube. I always appreciate other people's opinions as well. Thank you very much. You be well and have a great day.